Hi, I'm Roxy Jones, and I'm here today with Nancy Simpson, Greta LeChin, and Dale Flynn. We're all master gardeners in Sacramento County. We would like to share with you today how you can make changes in your garden to provide habitat for wildlife for everything from butterflies and moths to birds and bees. We will show you why and how you can get your yard certified as a wildlife habitat by using sustainable practices to provide wildlife with food, water, cover, and places to raise young. For 100 years, we've been landscaping our environments for looks with little regards to the needs of the wildlife that lives here. We like to believe that our wildlife is safely thriving in the natural lands we like to visit on vacation. But in reality, we've shrunk and separated our natural lands with urban sprawl, roads, and commercial agriculture to where healthy ecosystems are now so small and separated that most species are in serious decline. They don't have a place to live. We can help change this picture by changing our urban landscapes to ones that attract native butterflies, bees, and birds. If enough people make changes in their yards with the goal of providing food and places for wildlife to live, we will be creating healthy corridors for wildlife to be able to move between ecosystems that can support them. No space is too small to make a difference.
You might be afraid of insects and bees, and you might not like caterpillars nibbling on the plants in your garden, but insects are the little guys that keep our world running. Insects are the foundation of our ecosystem. Insects are nature's garbage collectors and recyclers. Insects pollinate the food we eat every day. In fact, insects are themselves a primary food source for birds, spiders, lizards, mice, and other animals. As insect populations diminish, the impact is felt higher up and affects the entire ecosystem, including us. To reverse the decline of native insects, we need native plants. A typical lawn with non-native plants is a poor habitat for most native insects. Native insects and native plants have evolved together over thousands of years and have specialized relationships. They need each other to survive. Our local pipevine swallowtail butterfly is an example of specialization. They lay their eggs only on pipevine plants because the caterpillars that hatch from their eggs will eat only pipevine plants. To attract butterflies and other insects to your yard, plant a variety of native plants that provide both nectar and larva food. They're also food for human eyes. Many native butterflies and moths lay their eggs on native grasses, and the caterpillars need to feed on these plants. Mowing or spraying these grasses could destroy the caterpillars. It's good to leave things a little wild.
A garden that attracts butterflies will also bring native birds. When gardeners think about providing food for the birds that visit their gardens, most folks turn to bird seed feeders or hummingbird feeders. But it turns out that native plants like this oak at the Fair Oaks Horticulture Center are far better. They are living bird feeders. The leaves of a native oak like this one can provide food for over 270 species of caterpillars. Caterpillars provide essential protein, fat, and vitamins for birds, both breeding adults and especially little nestlings. Native plants from flowering currant, which has nectar for hummingbirds and berries for other birds, to toyon, which provides berries as well as insects and spiders. All are excellent bird food. Leaving leaf litter on the ground provides good hunting for foraging birds, and some caterpillars pupate in leaf litter, turning into butterflies and moths. To keep your landscape safe for all the creatures that you are attracting, don't use insecticides. Even organically based ones kill off living bird foods like caterpillars, spiders, and other insects. Insecticides also kill the beneficial insects that eat the pests we don't want. And take time to observe the birds in your garden. Pay quiet attention, and they may show you what they like to eat.
In addition to butterflies and birds, we need to invite bees into our gardens. Most of us are surprised to learn that California has about 1,600 native bee species. Native bees are important pollinators of both native plants and California crops. However, our native bees are in serious decline, due largely to habitat loss, diseases, environmental toxins, and climate change. Most native bees are solitary bees. That means they don't live in hives. And since they don't have a hive to protect, most of them are not aggressive and they don't sting. 70% of these native bees build their nests in bare ground, so it is good to leave some bare soil in your garden for these ground nesters. 30% of them build their nests inside hollow plant stems. You can help the cavity nesters by placing small bundles of hollow plant stems or straws around your garden. So what do native bees like to eat? Nectar from native plants. Some bees are even specialists and will feed only on specific native plants. Some good native plants include the California poppy, buckwheat, manzanita, and penstemon. But not all of your plants need to be native. Bees need nectar from February to October, and most natives only bloom through spring, so adding some non-natives can help sustain bees throughout the year. In the Fair Oaks Horticulture Center, in the Water Efficient Landscape Garden, you can see a variety of plants to get ideas for plants for your own garden.
Finally, we would like to encourage you to get your yard registered with the National Wildlife Federation as a certified wildlife habitat. It's easy to do. While using sustainable practices, you need to provide the wildlife in your landscape with food, water, cover, and places to raise young. There's a checklist of the things you need to do on the National Wildlife Federation website. When you're ready, you fill out the form indicating what it is you have done that meets those requirements, and they will send you a certificate. It would be great if you would purchase a sign and put it on display in your landscape. It encourages you to do more and lets passers-by know what you are doing. It's a good way to start conversations and encourage others to take part. We all need to learn to live with nature.